So I know people are joining Sam's room. Sam's room is the best. There is none like Sam. He thinks like rippy mode, chippy mode. I never even traded chips in my lifetime, how I traded in the past 6 months. So Sam is like your GPS. Trust him, just follow him. You're going to be fine. And one more thing, please be patient. It takes time to become great. So Sam, thanks to you. Thanks for everything you do. You have changed my life. You're changing people's lives. And I know something that greatness takes time. So I stuck with you, and I'm seeing like amazing. I just got all. I just booked my Model X and the Ford, the Lightning, just because of you, Sam. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sam.
Yeah, where do you live?
You're like a. I live in Washington D.C., Sam. I missed you the last time you came to Fairfax.
Yeah,
I had a family thing, but I'm waiting to meet you and follow on your feet, Sam. It's going to happen soon. You're like a god to me. So,
thank you, man.
So guys on the call, just he's your GPS. You trust your family and you trust the GPS to take you to places. He's going to take you to places. Just stick with Sam. And greatness takes time. Please understand that. You are going to make mistakes, learn from them, and move forward. Thank you so much, Sam. I'm really blessed to have you, and thanks so much for making me speak today. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Mr. Rolf, let's go find Mr. Rolf here. Where is he? I don't see him. Mr. Rolf, what's going on with SPX, buddy?
Yes, good morning, Sensei Sam. Good morning, Dojo. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. So yesterday, the SPX did exactly, what we discussed in the morning call. We came in with green, and we said, watch the first pivot point at 10 a.m. If it's not meaningful, it will stay above the variable MA all day long, and we can have a very nice update. And it did. It crossed the variable MA like 5 times, but not really meaningful. It just stayed above. And even at 10 o'clock, the pivot point was up. So it came up, and then it went even further up. So very, very nice. And just a quick story on Sam's room, because it's really important. So there is a younger trader in Sam's morning call. I'm sure he's listening right now. He contacted me on Twitter. I gave him a couple of pointers. He was very respectful, very nice. And yesterday or on Friday, we talked about Sam's room. And I said, what, I understand if you cannot afford it, but if you can afford it, you are missing out huge. So yesterday was his first day in his room. And I know, Sam, he contacted you. And so my first trade, and I post every trade in Sam's room, was the 45.20 call. Now look where the SPX ended yesterday, exactly at 45.20. So the younger gentleman went in, he bought the same what I bought. I sold a little earlier. He is younger, he's patient. He was holding it. He doubled what he normally wants to do per day. He sold it. He was super happy. And then he said, I was done trading. I was just watching, what's going on in the room, what's going to happen with the SPX. And he sent me a DM last night on Twitter. It was really nice. And, these are things that really make your day. When you can help a fellow trader, very easy things. And these are the advantages of Sam's room. The morning call is awesome, but it's still an hour away from trading. And in Sam's room, there is constant good impact of awesome people. So if you are not in Sam's room, and again, I have no dog in the fight. I'm just a fellow trader like everybody else. Sam's room is the bomb. So what is the SPX doing today? The DAX in Germany is sideways, up 0.9%. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong is negative 2.5. The SPX is up. The last time when I looked, it was up 16, but it was a different up than yesterday. Yesterday, it was like up all the time, very consistently. Overnight, it went from red to green, from green to red, and I think now it's green again. So if I would lean, are we following the DAX or are we following the Hang Seng? I would definitely say we are following the Hang Seng. We can go from green to red, but watch the first pivot point around 10 o'clock. If it's not meaningful and we stay above the VMA, we can have another good day. But if it crosses around 10 o'clock, the VMA, and stays below the variable average, we can have a red day. And the motto for Friday is, don't lose money on a Friday, because it's the last day of the week. The weekend is coming. Manage your account. Don't take any major risk. You wanna clock out at 4 o'clock with a positive attitude to have a nice weekend. So again, for me, it's not about making money today. It's about not losing. And when I make money, I'm happy. It's Friday. I want to clock out with a good green account and have fun today. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Rolf. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Recording. Okay, good morning. 325. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Hold on. Palo Alto named leader. Wow. More good news, Palo Alto. Okay. Good morning. It's 325. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Have to go slow. Here's the thing. If you go slow and over time you build profits, you take shots, it works. Now, look, there's a lot of people that are impatient. Shit, I was impatient in 92, 93. I was ridiculously impatient. If I took 500 to 10 grand, if I didn't buy a position in 5 minutes, I had to buy a position in the next 5 minutes with the whole 10 grand. Okay. So I was impatient. I learned this over time, right? Over many, many years. And you become better. SPX up 14, add 14 to this. You got 45, 35-ish. You got 45, 42, 45, 52. 45.72 possible. If it takes out 4,500 on the downside, you got 44.72, 44.51 on the downside. Okay, NVIDIA, a little bit better. What a day yesterday. This thing hadn't moved, and then all of a sudden 25-point move. You got 286, 291 up, downside 271. Okay, LRCX trying to go 562, 563, 572. But here's the thing. Watch this one. This is the neon play. This and ASML. If the war ends, this one's up 100. ASML's probably up 200. Okay? If the war ends. This doesn't mean that there's just a ceasefire. It ends. Okay? So know that. Keep an eye on it. Crowd working better. 226, 231, under 209 bad. ZS, if it can take out this 241, it can get to 246, 247 pretty fast. Okay? Then round number 250 and 258. Underneath all the way down to 209. Pan W, runner. So these are things, think about it. We bought the 600s at $3. They're going to be 30 today. They're going to be 30. 3 to 30. Okay, it's starting to run. You got 629 and 632. 629, 632. Okay, interesting. Amazon, 303, 309. Very interesting. GME, if it can get through 144, if it breaks 160, this thing can spike. Let's see. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Snow. Think about this. We had snow puts. They went from 3 to 8. Then it reversed, and now it's about to break out. Over 231 is into the gap, gets you 252. Very intriguing. Keep an eye on this. BABA working lower, 109, 106. Shopalicious, can it go? If this can get to 736, it can really accelerate. Let's see. Then we see. Okay? UPST. So Wedbush comes out a few days ago and said the default rates are higher. But the CEO didn't respond. If that's not a true statement, the CEO and the company responds. Now, I don't know how, I mean, I know how I would test it. I mean, very simple. You go find somebody before they get a loan, say, would the regular approver approve him? And in an AI, our system's approving him. If it's different, then you go see if he defaults and see the default rate. You can't check just the default rate on everybody because half the ones wouldn't have been approved. So you don't know. It has to be the same. Anyway, that being said, if this gets through 133, 122 is a good number, but 133 will rip this thing up about 60 points. Massive, massive, massive. But for that to happen, you need the CEO to say the default rate is better. And they haven't said that. Moderna. Moderna guided up. They guided up. But here's the thing that they didn't do. He guided up revenue $2 billion, but he didn't tell you if the margin is better. Is he selling the product for way less, or what's he doing? We don't know, right? I think that's why it didn't go. Now, BNTX reports next week on the 30th. So you're going to get news. And if BNTX spikes, this will spike. Then we see. Google, can it get through 2852? Now, remember, this thing hit 3050 when they announced the split on earnings. 3050. It opened under 3,000. And it went all the way down to 2852 that first week, the first couple days after. So if it gets through that, it's probably into the runner gap that can rip this thing back to 3,000. Then we see. Tesla, Dan Ives upgrades it to 1,400. If this takes out 1022 early, if 1052 breaks, this can go all the way to 1080, 1090 today. Jesus. Wow. This goes to 1090. Sam had the 1,000s, 500 contracts, and he sold them at 11. Sam's going to need a spanking. There you go. Okay. Putin says West is trying to cancel Russian culture. Who cares what Putin says? My goal is to make it in Sam's room. Very nice. End of quarter window dressing. Be careful on the window dressing, guys. If there's a rumor out there that JP Morgan is saying that stock flow is $20 billion from stocks into bonds and then rip up on April 1st. Interesting. So just keep an eye on that. It's there. We've done really well. And we continue to see, as long as they continue to lend real estate, will continue to boom, and is booming in Florida. What worries me is less and less people can afford to buy it. Here's the thing, guys. One thing, I know a lot of people say less people, and people are looking at a tremendous amount of people that don't have as much money and wealth. But there's a tremendous amount of wealth out there, too. Okay? I fully understand that there's a big difference between wealth and non-wealthy, two different things. But there are a lot of very wealthy people out there too. And they've made a tremendous amount of money up. They made it down because they got out and they got back in. So they made a lot of money too, and that continues to drive prices. Everybody have a great trade day. See you, chat. Thank you, Letitia. Appreciate you. Thanks.